morning and welcome to our Facebook Live this morning. It's Monday morning, the 18th of October 2021. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. I hope everybody has had a nice weekend. If you're joining me live on a Monday morning, I hope you did have a good weekend. The weather was slightly variable, and but we made it through to Monday morning and a busy week ahead. So thanks for joining me. If you're watching on catch up or replay and you have any questions, don't hesitate to pop a comment either on Facebook or on YouTube, depending on where you're watching the replay. And I'd be more than happy to get back to you and answer any questions you may have. If you're watching live, then do say hi. It's always nice to know who's watching and I can acknowledge you. So this week I've decided it's a mix and match week. I've done this a couple of times and it's quite a nice way of looking at your current craft stash in a different way. Morning, Catherine. So what I do is I mix things up. So I'll take some components from one stamp set and mix them with another, or I'll take some dies and mix them with a different stamp set. Mix up papers and stamps, all sorts of things. Morning, Jeanette. So it's quite a good way of just looking at what you may already have and just looking at it a different way, basically. So today I have chosen hand-drawn blooms. Now I've used this, it was quite a while ago now. Let me show you where it is in the catalogue. I can just get that to hand. So it's in our annual catalogue. And hand-drawn blooms is on page 108 in the catalogue. It's this one here at the bottom. It's got that lovely, very delicate set of flowers, little daisies, sort of almost like wildflowers. And then it's got some other little flower heads. It's got the base here, and then it has a series of sentiments that actually fit and match the coordinating dies. They're called banner blooms. Now I don't have those dies, but what I'm going to do is mix it with this stamp set here, which I have had I don't know, about a month or so. This is also in the annual catalogue. It's called Best Chapter, as you can see. And I haven't used this one yet, and I thought it would be a perfect combination with the bunch of flowers, using this little item here, which I'm going to fussy cut out. So we have 6 main sentiments in that banner format. Happy retirement, happy housewarming, congratulations to you, congrats smarty pants, that'd be great for a graduation or passing an exam or driving test. Welcome to parenthood and happy wedding day. So these are the banner ones, and then it has some other sentiments. So the best chapter in your life is about to begin. You're strong, brilliant and beautiful. We've got a retire little sentiment there. Sometimes we can't do it alone, that's why I'm here for you. Take time to do what makes your soul happy, and then you've got this. So best chapter is on page, it's quite early in the catalogue, 40, and this one is £16, and this one is photopolymer and the other one is red rubber. So what I thought I would do is stamp this and this, and then stamp and cut out the banner to go on the top. And there's various ways that you can colour this in. So I'm just going to be using some blending brushes certainly for my first card. So let me see, I've just picked out 2 card bases, happen to be some of my favourite colours. Bermuda Bay and Melon Mambo, they just happen to be at the top of the pile. So I'm going to be stamping onto some white card. So I'm going to use this large one here, and I'll also get out the bottom set ready. Morning, Brenda. So here we go. So I've got this stamp mounted up on my block. It really is a pretty delicate stamp. It's only going to fit this way. It's quite a big stamp for the front of my card, and this piece is going to go onto here. I could add a layer behind it. I'll see how we go. So I'm just going to stamp this in early espresso, of course. So just inking this up, taking the ink pad to the stamp, like so. And if I was doing a lot of these, this is something I would set up on the Stamparatus, because it would be just so easy to line everything up. So I'm just going to pop that on there, like that. Give it a good amount of pressure because it's very fine detail and it's a big stamp. There we go. So there's our wildflowers. And then I'm just going to stamp this one underneath. Like so. I'll take my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. Hopefully I haven't got too much of a gap in there. Nope. There we go. So you can overlap this a little bit just to make sure you don't get a little gap. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to stamp the other one as well. I've forgotten how much I love this stamp. We did it at Coffee and Card. I might have to reintroduce it again because it's just so pretty. I think you could colour this as well in autumn colours. Would look really nice. So just giving that a nice amount of pressure. Oops, a daisy. Inking this one up. And as I got this set out, I thought of another great mix for this. So you might see that one either tomorrow or later in the week. Okay, let me just wipe the stamps down. There we go. Pop that away for the minute. Okay, so for colouring this one in, I could have done it a little bit further down actually, but it'll work. I'm just going to use my pink blending brush, and I've got Melon Mambo, but I could use multiple colours. Now on my screen it's got automatic subtitles. I don't know whether it's the same for you or not, which is quite handy for anybody watching while they're working. So whether it was just on my device, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to use a little bit of pink from the blending brush. So blending brushes are a great way of colouring in really quickly. And what I'm going to do is just pick out 1 or 2 flowers that I will add to But as I say, this would be really nice in autumn colours if you did it in yellows and oranges. So that might be what I feature tomorrow. So I'm just going to pick up my Melon Mambo blends pens. Oh, good. How strange. I don't know whether it's annoying or not. Let me know if it is, and then if it's annoying and I know how to turn them off, I'll do it. But if it's useful, then no worries. Morning, Lynn. I hope you're well. I gather your craft fair went well at the weekend. So we've got our mix and match this week today, Lynn and Brenda. Okay, I wonder if it's just mobile phones then. They're very strange. Anyway, so I've used a Melon Mambo blending brush just to add that little bit of background detail, and I'm just colouring these ones in. Could do with one over here somewhere. That's it. There we go. Right, and I think I might find a very pale pink. What have I got here? Light flirty flamingo. Like so. Just want to give a little bit more colour, but I want to keep it with the pinks. But I'm definitely going to do an autumn version, so this would be like a harvest bouquet. Couldn't think of the word then. Okay, so this is stunning when you colour it in from scratch, and often I will do just as you know me, my scribble colouring in, so it's not necessarily in any detail. So that's my base, and then I'm just going to use a piece of thin basic white and pick up one of these sentiments here. So we've got housewarming, congratulations, retirement. So I think I'm going to do congratulations to you, because that could be for anything. And I've got these out ready, but I haven't used any of them yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, I do like some of these larger sentiments on here, so they will also be making an appearance in due course. Right. Morning, Jill. Oh, Catherine hasn't got subs. How very strange. I wonder if you're watching on different devices. I wonder if that's a key factor. Okay, just going to put that to one side. So just going to ink this one up. So I haven't used this stamp set before, so I just want to do a few bits of ink just to get this stamp set working. Oops, a daisy. And I think I'm going to need to let my dog out. Excuse me 1 minute. Let me just leave that there. Come on, you're making a lot of noise. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm back. I'm not surprised you're exhausted yesterday when you've been poorly and then you do a day's craft there. That's quite hard work. Okay, let's have a look and see what this looks like. There we go. So I've got congratulations to you. So I'm going to fussy cut that. Not something I do very often, as you know. But there's no coordinating dies or punch for this one. So I'm just going to leave a little border just to give it a bit more size, because it is quite small. Just going to cut that bit off for the minute. Now if you didn't like fussy cutting, you could cut straight across there if you wanted to. I am going to add a little bit. So for us here, it's definitely more autumnal this morning and over the weekend. Okay. So just going to cut this one in and in. And from the side. Probably all you can see is my hands, so forgive me. There we go, so that's one side. Let's do the other. Like so. So I've got a busy week ahead. Booking closes for our October card class today. And then I'm preparing for our Let's Get Creative event, which is our all-day event on Saturday, that I run with two of my lovely team members. Okay, I think it's got to go here, unless I did it. I think it works there. What do you reckon? In my mind I had it slightly further down, but it's just the wrong dimensions for that. I could have it over there. I think maybe slightly low down. Let me bring it to the screen and see what you think. Morning, Kerry, or evening, Kerry, I should say, for you. There we go. Just going to add a little bit more pink up here. So this is a really quick way to colour something in. Use the blending brushes and then just add a little bit of highlights. So I think what I'm going to do is bring in a piece of early espresso. Need to cut this down so that it sits between these two layers, and it will tie in the early espresso colour. So I'm presuming this is 9.5, which is my standard size. So this will be 10 centimetres by 14.35. Go. So that's going to go onto there and then onto there. So I'm looking forward to coffee and card this afternoon. Carrying on with our Christmas baubles. So this is going to go onto here. Now you could round the corners, you could use one of our decorative corner edges as well if you wanted just to sort of step that up a notch, but I think that's quite pretty in its own right. So this is our seal tape runner. So just positioning my fingers underneath while I line that up. Okay, holding it on the left hand side and then just letting it drop. Don't let it drop from a height. And then here's my congratulations going to pop in there. So I'm just going to use some thin mini dimensionals. Or actually I'm going to chop some of these up because my others are in my bag ready for coffee and card. One and two. Just a little bit too big. There we go. So if you've got stamps that you haven't used for a while, or ones indeed that you've purchased that you haven't used, and we all do that, then my challenge for you this week is to get them out and have a go. Either mix and matching two different sets together, or just using a stamp set that you haven't yet used. So let me just bring that up there, and I'm just going to add a little bit of bling. Let's see if I've got any. This is odd ones I've accumulated on my desk. Just think I've got some little pink ones. Here we go, these ones here. Just to dot in. I'll just use the tip of my scissors to lift these up, or shall I do slight contrast because they'll stand out a little bit more. So I've got 3 large flowers, so I'm going to put one on each of those larger flowers like that. If you can see that. There we go. So that's the first card. Let's put a sentiment inside. I think this one, best chapter of your life is about to begin, or you're strong, brilliant and beautiful. Oh, this one. Thank you, Kerry. Don't know why I'm looking in there. Alright, see if this is the right size. It's just an offcut, but I think it will work in the middle. It will be fine. So I'm going to use that Melon Mambo again. Let's grab this one. Just have a little practice on my sheet. Okay. This is really nice, positive sentiment that you could send anybody, particularly a lady who might be struggling. There you are. Let's clean that off. And I think what I'm going to do, when I can find that big stamp again, Oh, here it is. Just going to put this in the corner. Just as a little finishing touch, and I am going to do it in espresso. So if you're looking to do a quick card, especially with something that you would normally colour in, do have a look and see if you can stamp it, and just use a blending brush for the main bit of colouring in. Because you can make some really quick cards that way. There we go. Shut that up. And just going to do the same. With my blending brush. So I don't have one for each colour. I don't really have the space. So I just have generic colours. So pink, red, green. And you can wash them. But even if you've got a really dark colour, you can of course just brush out some of the colour. There we go. That's our inside. So I know that's not an exact fit, but it's just an inner for that. So there we go. And you could also add Wink of Stella if you wanted onto there for a similar effect. So I'm just going to do the same or something similar with this one. So use some blue. So this is Bermuda Bay. Actually, I'm going to go lighter blue. Going to go Coastal Cabana, she says. Just for my little bit of background. Up. Now for this one I'm not going to do as much colouring of my background. Just want it very light. Almost just to take the starkness of the white out of the way. There we go. Like that. And I'm just going to add some blue and yellow flowers to that. So I've got Daffodil Delight. Glasses are off. So literally just scribbling in these colours like that. Got another one like that there. Thing is just picking out the different types of flowers really if you want to. And a bit of darker Daffodil Delight in the middles of these, and I'll just blend those out a little bit. and then I'll have a different sentiment on this one. Would make a nice retirement card. And we don't have many retirement stamps, and this one also has a housewarming sentiment, and that's another thing we don't have many of. So if you've got a stamp set obviously that's got, you know, happy new home or in your new home or something, then great. But this one has got happy housewarming. So there's my bit of yellow, and I'm going to add a little bit I need to grab my pens from my box, excuse me. These are ready for coffee and card. So I'm just going to do a little bit of pool party here. Some of these smaller flowers. So literally just scribbling. And I know you can't see that in any detail. Let me just lift that up. Hopefully you can see that. So just adding a little bit of pool party to bring in that blue. Scribbling a little bit extra colour in, like so. Right, so let's make this a retirement card. And there's two sentiments that go with the retirement. And this one here, there's this one here, retire, relax, eat, travel, indulge, read and enjoy. So that's going to go on the inside. And then I've got happy retirement here at the top. Keep forgetting I've got that out already. Happy retirement. Let's pop it on a block. I might pick out Bermuda Bay here. Let's see what it's stamping like. That's good. Got a tiny little bit of something on the E. Let's try that again. That's better. Okay. So just going to stamp this on here again. Ready to cut out. And while I'm here, I'll do the other sentiment, which is the one with the word retire sort of spelt out. So, relax, eat, travel, indulge, read and enjoy. Put that in the middle, like so. And then just to finish that off with those flowers again in the corner. So both of these are, well, basically the same card. So this one has got more background in the pink, and this one just sort of changed around the colours a little bit. Let's add that blue on my blending brush, if I can see it. If you can see it on my desk, please tell me. See, there it is. I can see the pink one. So just a little corner of this, like so. Let's put it back where it belongs this time. I've got a better chance of finding it. There we go. So that's my inner. Let's just fussy cut this out and we're done. Now if you had a banner punch or a die that was a similar shape, you might be able to utilize that, or a large, well, it had to be quite a large circle, wouldn't it, I think. So maybe not. There we are. For this one, no, I'm going to do it like that. I thought I might just cut that end off because you're probably bored of watching me just fussy cut. There we go. There we go. So if you're fussy cutting, I do recommend our snips. So they've got a very sharp pointed tip, so you don't get that sort of bluntness at the end. You see those especially obviously with children's scissors where they have a blunt end. Obviously stop them doing any damage to themselves or anybody else. Okay, just tighten this knot up here. Okay, and let's put this one together. So I'm going to do that the same really with this one, and I am going to layer this on espresso again. Let me just grab used up all my oddments. So let's just cut one out from here. So I always cut a card base size first, so that the off cut is always ready for a card, and then I narrow that down from there. So 10 by 14.35 centimeters. Okay, so let's just pop this together. I don't need that sheet there. And we're done for today. So I hope you've all got something nice planned for the day. I'm looking forward to coffee and card this afternoon and toaster. Just add a little bit more. There we go. Going to darken these up a little bit so they stand out a bit more, and then we're done. So all week will be mix and match. So I've already got my idea for tomorrow. So Tuesdays you'll find us here at 7 p.m. Wednesday 10 a.m. and Thursday is 7 p.m. too. There we go. What I like about this, effectively like a wildflower bloom, is you could use this for men and women because it's not overly floral, if that makes any sense, and it would be a nice sympathy card as well. Okay, this is our inside, and then I'll put my little label on. There we go, and happy retirement on the front. So do let me know what you're up to later on today, and I look forward to catching up with some of you either in person or online over the next week. Thank you, Jeanette. I'm glad you like them. I'm glad the captions were correct. It's extremely clever for it to decipher what I'm saying and put the captions up so quickly. Okay, there we are. And I'll decorate the envelopes up as well. So let me put those to the side and show you these in a bit more detail. Oh, could add a little bit of bling as well. So we've got this one here, and then this one here with the blue and the yellow on the Bermuda Bay colour card. So thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, depending on when you're watching. And do take care, look after yourselves, look after your loved ones. And I look forward to crafting with you again soon. If you have any queries or questions, don't hesitate to contact me and ask me for more information. Thank you so much. Bye for now.